Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the stream. Man, quite the day, huh? I think before going into the daily time frame, we're gonna check out a little bit a smaller time frame. The 4 hour should be enough. So everything was right and dandy on BTC before the Wall Street Open today. Quite a surprise, huh? This has been going on for some time now, where you pump on the Asian session, and as soon as Wall Street opens, they just press the red button and everything just sells off. And we've been following the SPX, but we have not been following it to the upside. Mostly just we're coupled on the red days. So this was the open here on the 4 hour of Wall Street, and now you're sitting on a slightly higher low regarding the low from yesterday. So I think this is gonna come to a resolution soon. We've been ranging on this pocket for I don't know 10 plus days by now. What's good, Severson? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I need price to go up as well. So you've been ranging here on this 4 hour pocket for 12 days by now, and I think this is gonna come to a resolution soon because you had three impulses here to the top, and usually the rule of three is that you have somewhat of three touches into somewhat of a level, and then you either gonna come back down or continue trending higher. So you did have an inverse head and shoulders too. This is like pattern inception here, because you have accumulation arguments and distribution arguments. On the distribution side, you do have three falling peaks potential scenario here, with lower highs and a lower low here. This would be a distribution. And on the accumulation side of things, you have an inverse head and shoulders. So which side is it going to break out, chat, here? You guys need to let me know what you think. But I think resolution's coming within maybe tomorrow or the latest on Thursday, in my opinion. And as for now, the good thing is that you're holding 58.3k. So my bias is still bullish. Everything's good as long as you're holding 58.3k. And why will you say that? It's because you're regarding a critical inflection point from history, from the previous cycle here, chat. This level was manufactured on February 21st of 2021, regarded as resistance also on May of 2021, as support on October 2021, and this cycle around you also have been bouncing and retesting this level a couple times. So I think ultimately this is my line in the sand on being fine on BTC. Any day that you're above 58.3k, you're good. I'm gonna turn on my usual setup here, so you'll see this is a little bit noisier, but you can see here the levels from the previous cycle around. We're just above here 58.4.3k, and the next logical resistance would be 63.5 to 64.8k, and then 69k basically. So those inflection points from 2021, I think they're very real on this cycle around. You'll see how price has been regarding them. So as long as you're above that level 58.4.3, I think you're fine. Otherwise, you're looking at a downside potential of the lower end of this descending channel at around 53 to 52k. Will be the next logical target area for a downside move if this local range turns out to break to the downside. But you do know that my bias is bullish. You're printing positive momentum once again on the MACD histogram. You're at the 46 point level on the RSI, so you're neutral on the oscillators. And we talked about this setup here yesterday of this inverse head and shoulders on the RSI on the daily. So maybe you're doing somewhat of a bullish back test to it, where you had the breakout and then you would bounce out of the neckline here and continue higher. that will be my expectations going forward, within this week, hopefully. But I don't know. On the 4 hour, it could go either way. You do have the reversal argument and the distribution argument for the lower time frames. And on the daily, you could argue that maybe you're printing somewhat of a Adam and Eve reversal pattern, where you have a sharp drop here with a B recovery and then around the bottom. So it's quite similar to what price did here. You can see how it did an Adam and Eve, and actually you had a lot of local choppiness until the decisive breakout out of that reversal bottom. So maybe, hopefully, you're doing something like that. You're on in between of the rounded bottom, in between of all the noise, and they're gonna hold the lows and propel this asset higher into the daily 200 moving average, and ultimately the top of the range here, which is sitting at 66 to 67k. That's on the daily. You're pretty flat. You've been on this range, as I said, for 12 days plus. And I do have somewhat of an edge on the 3-day. This closes tomorrow in 1 day and 1 hour chat. So it still needs a little bit more of data before closing. But you're holding a green candle. This bullish engulfing from Wednesday 7 of August 7, just last week, is still valid. You do have a bullish engulfing candle that market participants are holding as for now. As you can see, this bullish engulfing would get invalidated if you get a daily candle close below here, this opening at 56k. So if you get a 3-day close below 56k, you'll know that this bullish engulfing then has been invalidated. But that hasn't happened yet. Bullish engulfing still valid, and on the MACD histogram, you're losing negative momentum as of now. Remember, chat, this is gonna get confirmed tomorrow, so don't get ahead of yourself. And you have here a confirmed hidden bearish divergence, where you have a higher high on the positive momentum and a lower high on price, which implies that it's basically a continuation divergence. So it will be a continuation of the downtrend, but the performance of such hidden bearish divergence has not been very strong, right, Chad? You just have a small valley of negative momentum down here, and maybe if they start to print lower and lower negative momentum and eventually flip green, then the whole hidden bearish divergence would not have performed as a regular trader would think. And you do have triple bullish divergence here in the making on the MACD histogram, also on the 3-day. So you have higher lows on the negative momentum and lower lows on price. So this could imply high time frame sellers exhaustion, Chad. Is basically what you're looking at here. You do have sellers had an argument here, like on July 26 and July 29. It was like, all right, we do have an argument. This is buyers exhaustion. Buyers stepped in. They did a higher positive momentum regarding the momentum from June 2nd, and all they could do was a lower high in the charts. So now it's now time for sellers to take over and start bringing this asset to the downside. That was the seller argument, and for now, eventually the seller's argument didn't perform as well, because you did put in a lower low, but buyers stepped in and had a lot of selling absorption down here, and potentially now you're cooking a triple bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. So that's why I'm locally bullish on the 3-day. This is gonna close tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know tomorrow what happens. But good things are being brewed on the 3-day. You have that bullish engulfing confirmed, has not been invalidated. Potential higher low also on the 3-day. You just need the daily to cooperate and need the 58.3k level to continue to hold, and need Wall Street to not just sell off, because today at one point, chat, BTC was up 3.3%, 3.2%, and now it's gonna close down 0.5% in 13 more minutes. So Man, I know this has been really rough on the mental state of market participants, especially this whole long range descending channel consolidation. Has just been super boring, and this locally structure as well. So maybe chat, good times are ahead because the weekly still looks fine. Weekly it's going for a green candle. You still need 5 more days of data, and hopefully you get that bullish engulfing on the weekly, and you're holding the lows here, this lower end of the Bollinger Bands here on this Bollinger Band squeeze. So this whole volatility compression hopefully ultimately will lead into bullish expansion, and this harmonic here on the RSI, this bearish bat here would imply, if it actually holds, that the RSI could be going into an 886 retracement from highs to lows, which will give you a weekly RSI at 83 points, Chad. Weekly RSI at 83 points would mean insane prices from here. It would, I'm sure if you get a weekly RSI from here at 83 points, you will have blasted through price discovery. So maybe, like I said, I've been repeating this like a parrot, but I really want to see something like this maybe develop. Come up over here into price discovery strongly, continue the uptrend into further upside, potentially create somewhat of a bearish divergence on the RSI weekly with a type 2 return to the pattern completion zone of this harmonic, and this potentially will be maybe where you the risk. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, but this is somewhat how it could play out in my mind. So yeah, just Bitcoin doing the shenanigans on the daily time frame, but you're cool for now. Getting tighter on the Bollinger Bands also. Not as compressed as before this drop here on August 2nd, but compressed enough for knowing that volatility has been decreasing on this range. So yeah, somewhat of an inverted bearish, or somewhat of a bearish pin bar. It was a little bit more indecisive an hour ago. So now looks a little bit like a bearish pin bar on the daily, but we'll check back on it on the daily close in 10 more minutes. So let's move into Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is down 0.1%, 0.15% on a day, going for a bearish engulfing candle and your lowest daily candle close since August 15. So this is starting to look a little bit better for somewhat of a pullback here, because you do have a lower high here that you might be breaking, or a potential double bottom here. This will be the neckline of the double bottom, the lowest price action of the structure at 56.3% is where you would need to get a decisive break. It's where you would take basically a double top pattern play out if you actually get to break down 56.6%. So looking in better shape than yesterday. I've waited for Bitcoin dominance run along a Bitcoin run into price discovery. So I think if Bitcoin ultimately runs above 70K, I think Bitcoin dominance is gonna run with it. But I might be wrong. We're here to check out on TA. You're below 57.2%, which is a critical inflection point from 2020 and 2019 here. You'll see how prices have reacted to this level quite strongly in the past. So I like to see somewhat of a lower high and coming back down below that level, chat. So it's fine. You're building negative momentum on the MACD histogram. You're at the 51 point level on the RSI, so you're somewhat neutral. And on the 3-day chat is where we had this whole setup. You're continuing to lose the positive momentum here. So this is an ongoing setup that we looked at on stream. You have an inverse head and shoulders here. I actually trade patterns not only on price action, but I do actually look at them on the oscillators. Not too many people do it, but I think they're pretty reliable. Sometimes you have to look where no one's looking, so that could give you a better edge than the rest of the market. So we had this bearish head and shoulders that get confirmed, and this is actually the performance of the bearish head and shoulders of this negative momentum reversing to the upside after 3 months of consolidation. So what I would like to see is momentum come back down into a valley here, potentially flip negative momentum, and maybe they'll do somewhat of a bearish divergence. They'll get another impulse higher on if Bitcoin dominance is doing something like this. Maybe they'll sell it off, put in a higher high, and then have somewhat of a confluence with a bearish divergence on the MACD histogram, or maybe they'll just nuke it, just coming down out of here, because this is the performance of the inverse head and shoulders. And I would like to hopefully think that this was just it, of this inverse head and shoulders. And now you're going to lose that positive momentum and you're going to start printing strong negative momentum once again. And that would imply altcoins are performing. So this will close tomorrow. For now, it's a nothing burger candle. You're not going for a bearish engulfing, but I would really like to see a bearish engulfing tomorrow, leaving this whole amount of wicks to the upside would imply that Bitcoin dominance is maybe reversing, at least locally, So that's Bitcoin dominance, pretty flat on a flat day on BTC, going for a bearish engulfing candle. So USDT dominance is up 0.5%. Man, this has been a pain in the ass to look at and quite hard to figure out, because just up. You have a bullish pin bar on the day. You are up 0.5%. You're printing strong negative momentum on the MACD histogram though, and you're at the 55-point level on the RSI. So you're neutral. You're neutral on the RSI, not only on BTC but also on USDT dominance. So somewhat of a coin flip territory on the lower time frame. What you need to know, chat, is that you need this area to hold as a resistance here, just like you need 58.3k to hold on BTC. So this level 58.3 is the equivalent on USDT dominance, but to the upside here. Most of them are a critical inflection point from the past. You'll see how prices have reacted from it. So yeah, that's where you need to hold as resistance and not get consecutive price action above. Otherwise, it could get somewhat concerning for the bullish bias, at least on the daily time frame. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a quick rundown on what we were looking at here on USDT dominance for the past few weeks. So you have a 3 rising valleys pattern, an accumulation pattern here. You have a low, higher low, higher low with a higher high. That's a 3 rising valleys classic accumulation pattern, chat. How does the pattern get confirmed? The pattern gets confirmed if you get a daily candle close above the breakout line, which is the highest point of the higher high here. So pattern get confirmed on August 5th with a daily candle close above, but market participants were not able to sustain price action above the breakout line, and price fell below the breakout line once again, and that's what is called a throwback on Thomas Bulkowski book on the pattern encyclopedia, where he treats and he discusses all kinds of patterns. So he says that patterns that get a throwback, meaning they come back down below the breakout line, they don't perform as well as patterns who don't get that throwback. So for example, if you had the breakout that we had on August 5th and market participant held the line above the breakout line, this would be way worse than what you're looking at right now. Because the technical target for this accumulation pattern, it's pretty scary, chat. Like if you didn't know what you were looking at here. For example, let's imagine you're looking at gold or whatever, like an Apple stock, and you have this three rising valleys accumulation pattern, with the third valley being confluent with a critical inflection point from the past being regarded now as support. You will want to see the measure move target, right? So the measure move target for the breakout line is that you go for the three rising valleys, you go from the breakout line from here all the way to the bottom. So it's a 35% performance from the breakout line. So you go 35% performance from here. Man. 35 performance from the breakout line is at 8% target measure move on USDT dominance. That would imply death. Basically bear market. Like if this pattern actually continues to play out, and this was just not the performance of it, you will be looking at a 8% target on USDT dominance. So thankfully, sellers stepped in on USDT dominance and they did a throwback. So maybe, or at least what Thomas Bulkowski says, the performance of this accumulation pattern is gonna get hurt, and it's not gonna go for that 8%. More likely than not, it's not gonna go for that 8% target. What I'm really hoping for is that we roll over from here. That you're doing somewhat of an Adam and Eve topping pattern, just like you're doing on BTC. You're on the rounding bottom section of the pattern, and you ultimately roll over. And this I saw this just a couple months ago on WIF chat, the meme coin, right around here. So you had this three rising valleys pattern, with the higher high. This was the higher high. This was the breakout line. This was the breakout. This was the throwback. And now you're here, chat, basically on USDT dominance. I'm waiting for this to happen to USDT dominance, which would imply Bitcoin going into 70K or so. If you get this on USDT dominance, it will be turbo bullish. So that's what I'm hoping for and crossing my fingers. I'm not going to spec anything because it's not my job here to tell you what's going to happen, because I don't know. No one knows what is going to happen, chat. My job here is to look at charts, identify patterns, inflection zones, potential divergences, exhaustions from sellers and buyers, and that's what we're doing. So I do find similar USDT dominance to what WIF did here, and look at this. WIF did not perform the three rising valleys pattern, because you had this accumulation pattern, this reversal, had the breakout. You confirmed the pattern on USDT dominance and on WIF. You had price action above the breakout line, immediate throwback, just like on USDT dominance, and then a lower high. So, yeah, just be patient here, because hopefully that's what happens. So the daily candle just closed, chat. Let's see how it did. So it closed on a bearish pin bar, down 0.7% or so. So not too concerning. You're still above 58.3K. It's just a little bit boring watching price pump at night, or start to break out from this hard line out of this descending channel, and then have Wall Street open and they just run it back down again. So yeah, that's your USDT dominance. Close on a bullish pin bar here. But this is this potential Adam and Eve topping pattern hasn't been validated, so it'll need further evidence, in my opinion. This week we'll know if USDT dominance, in my opinion, is going to continue higher, or if it's going to roll over like WIF did on May, I think. So let's take a look at some altcoin. First, Bitcoin against the SPX. Bitcoin against the SPX also closed on a bearish pin bar. You don't have that kind of Adam and Eve bottoming pattern, but you do have somewhat of confirmation low here on August 15 with a touch to the descending channel. This channel has been regarded to the Jesus, man, on Bitcoin against the SPX. You're losing negative momentum, continuing to lose negative momentum on the MACD histogram. You're at the 41 point level on the RSI, so you're neutral still on Bitcoin against the SPX. But yeah, I don't have much of an edge here, rather than this descending channel that's been going on for, man, 162 days, chat, of just range price action on Bitcoin. It's like if they were like doing something like this here, like last year. Apparently, selling in May and going away wasn't such a bad idea after all, right? So now we're gonna go into ETH. Man, Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin today, closed on a down 2.3% candle, bearish engulfing, lowest daily candle close on ETH since August 15. Not the best. And losing positive momentum here on the MACD histogram potentially. Bearish convergence on the oscillators. You don't have any kind of divergence. 38 point level on the RSI. So you're back in the seller's control area, on the bearish control zone on the RSI. You don't want to be below 40. And if you want to see higher prices, you want to be above 60 for buyers being in control. So sellers are in control on Ethereum on a daily time frame regarding the RSI. Just really choppy, but underperforming BTC and underperforming Solana for the past few days. Talking about Solana also did a bearish engulfing. Closed the day on a down 1.4%. Lowest daily candle close on Sol since August 17. Losing negative momentum on the MACD histogram, still losing it. About to flip green unless they nuke it today or tomorrow. This is gonna turn into positive price action really soon here, chat. So neutral on the RSI though at the 44 points, and you're below 144 bucks. This is one level that I always want to see above on Sol. This complacency shoulder from 2022 has been regarded both as support and as resistance in the past. So you want to see price sustain above 144 in order to target 170 bucks. Look at all of this chopness, man. It's chop fest on Solana since March. It's been rough on the market. So yeah, just pretty flat on a bearish engulfing on Sol today. Just everyone's waiting. It's everyone except a few coins have been waiting for BTC, and we'll talk about these coins in a minute. But first, we're gonna pull up ETH BTC. So ETH BTC closed the day down. Let's see, chat. Down 1.6%. Lowest daily candle close on ETH BTC since August 11. Not great. This could turn into another lower high, like every other high has been on this excruciating downtrend. So it's not what you want to see on ETH BTC. And I gotta wonder when higher low. When you will put in a higher low regarding this low or whatever low, chat. Like you need a market structure break on ETH BTC. You need a higher low in order to speculate that maybe buyers are stepping in here. Because otherwise, you're just looking at a relentless chop, and your next support, in my opinion, is pretty far down from here at the 0.037 and 0.036 levels on ETH BTC down here. So maybe it's gonna need more time, man. What do we have here, chat? brownie points to anyone who identifies this on the chat now. I'll give you a hint. You have a higher high on the momentum while you're creating at the same time a lower high on price. Does anyone know what's going on here on ETH BTC? This is not confirmed yet. It will get confirmed if you get closer to neutral. But there's something developing here on ETH BTC. And you'll make my day if you can identify it. No guesses? Okay. You have a potential hidden bearish divergence here on ETH BTC, a continuation divergence, which is a downtrend continuation. So on how you've seen here on this long-term downtrend since the ETH merge in October 2022. So now you have a signal, you have an edge on the oscillators telling you that ETH BTC will more likely than reverse. It's going to continue its trend. Yikes. You're at the 37 point level on the RSI also, so that's bearish control zone. Man, I wonder if ETH is gonna come back. Let's take a look at SOL ETH. So SOL ETH closed green on the day. Up almost 1%, 0.9%. Highest daily candle close on SOL ETH since August 15. And we've been wondering here, chat, if this is actually going to turn out into be the highest low of this whole uptrend. Because for the first time, you might be regarding this level here, 5,417 sats or whatever level here. For the first time, you might be regarding it as support. Maybe history is being made on SOL ETH here. The only thing that I don't like here about SOL ETH, that I'm not a large fan, is this potential deviation above a critical inflection point. Like when you have this kind of areas here that you've tested so many times and you just have a breakout and then you run it back down turbo. I don't like that kind of deviations. Like especially when it's such a important level, you know. This is a bad signal for market participants, but that doesn't imply that the uptrend's over, especially what you're doing here. This is a big development in my opinion. You're holding possibly 5,417 as support for the first time, so I guess I'm gonna go with the trend, which has been an uptrend. And on the MACD histogram, you're losing negative momentum. You do have somewhat of a hidden bullish divergence here, a continuation divergence here. So it's a class C. Oh no, it's a class A, slightly class A, hidden bullish divergence here, potentially being cooked on SOL ETH, which is a continuation to the upside divergence. So pretty cool for Solana, at least. Okay, let's go into the large two elephants in the room. By the way, chat, if you want me to look at any coins, you can make a request in the chat. We'll take a look at it. But the first one I want to take a look at is BNB. BNB closed on a 2% gainer today, chat. Almost a 2% gain on the day. Your highest daily candle close on BNB since August 1st, chat. So continuing to bounce from this inflection point from history. You'll see here this zone from 2022 and the previous bull market was regarded as support. Buyers stepped in, didn't let price come back down any further. They actually stepped in on the daily close too. So that was pretty wild on BNB here. you're building strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram. You actually printed the highest momentum on BNB since July 22nd, chat. You're at the 59 point level on the RSI, so you're just 1 point shy from entering the bullish control zone on BNB against USD. Man, I wonder what the market's doing here. Because maybe they're speculating on CC getting out of jail. I think if CC getting out of jail would be a bullish catalyst. I think that it would represent a bigger gain before actually he gets released rather than afterwards. I'm not saying it's gonna be a sell the news event, but I think that the thick of the move, if it's actually bullish, is gonna come before him coming out of jail rather than later, because it's a certain event. Anything like nothing certain in life, like he could pass away or whatever before, but it's pretty certain or pretty likely that he'll come out of jail. And the more likely an event is, they usually pump it before rather than afterwards, because there isn't much uncertainty to speculate afterward. I mean, there isn't much people positioning themselves before because there's uncertainty. When it's a certain event, you'll see that the market will price in the event way before. So I don't know what they're doing with BNB. Remember what they did here. Look at this deviation, chat here. This is what I'm talking about. This was all-time highs above a key inflection point from history, and they came back down and they went for a lower low regarding this low. So this is what I'm a little bit afraid on Sol ETH. When you create somewhat of a deviation above a key inflection point, is that they would reverse the trend into a downside before another attempt. But you're holding a higher low on Sol ETH as for now. So remember that you went into price discovery on June 6th. So that's I wouldn't fade that, chat. Like Solana has not been in price discovery yet. On market cap wise, I think it did. I'm not sure, but price wise, it has not. And BNB has a burn mechanism, so I think maybe its deflationary factor might be coming in. Solana is inflationary. BNB is deflationary. I'm not an expert on tokenomics, so don't quote me on that. But I don't know what's going on, in all honesty, on BNB here, chat. But something's brewing. Something's being cooked here, because you have the market looking really bad and you have BNB closing unaffected 2% gainer on the day. Okay, so your next logical target from BNB is $597, close to the 600 level, psychological level box. What's good, Benz? Glad to have you here. Shout out to my man Benz, regular watcher from the stream, so appreciate your support. Yeah, I know that you don't like Solana, so that's all right. But we can be BNB chats, you know. CC is a chat, so man, they're cooking something here. I'm talking about chats. Let's go to the big elephant in the room, man. You guys already know what I'll talk about next. It's a major. It's been pumping. They launched a meme coin platform on it today. You're right. I'm talking about Tron. Look at what they did. My God. Look at that Marubasu candle. Like back-to-back Marubasu candles on Tron. Huge volume on Binance. It's not too often that you see two Marubasu candles back-to-back, man. Like a strong body candle with almost no wick. They closed the body here just almost at the highs of the day here, chat. So talk about, man, talk about demand of an asset. I don't know what Justin Sun's doing here, but man, Tron highest daily candle close. Let me see. Was it the highest daily candle close ever? I don't think so. Almost the second highest daily candle close, or the third highest daily candle close ever on Tron. My God, Chad. Like the highest daily candle close ever, it's on April 15, 2021, and the second highest one, it's on April 16. What are they doing here, Chad? Oh my god. Highest daily candle close on Tron since April 16, 2021. You don't have much resistance above you, Chad. You're above 16 cents. Next logical target 16 cents and 43 out of a cent, and the next one is 18 cents, and then you'll go into price discovery. Yeah, there has been some mumbling about Tron on the timeline. I looked at this Marubosu candle yesterday and I was like, what are they doing, Chad? They're breaking 14 cents. They're breaking out of this ascending channel. Look at the positive momentum here in the MACD histogram. This is wild. Wow. I think this is today's momentum, so that's not valid, but this was the true positive momentum of today. Highest positive momentum on the MACD histogram since April 16 too, Chad. So you have confluence on both on price on the oscillators. You're overbought on the RSI though. You're at this 80 point level on the RSI, so your highest RSI print since February 22nd of this year. You're overbought and on the bullish control zone. Good news is that although you're overbought, this can continue to pump. They could retrace here. They could start like pumping even with divergences. Maybe do something like this, maybe another divergence here. And finally, after a lot of bearish divergence, maybe it'll go into a downtrend. So I wouldn't worry about this overbought area here. I'm not saying I will buy here because it's overextended. You're in the middle of an impulse. I don't usually buy on impulses. I try to buy on setups, where I could position myself. No way to position myself here, but man, a lot of demand came into this asset today. Apparently, Justin Sun opened like a pump fund platform today on Tron. I took a look at it today. It had some activity. They sent some coins into Radium, like Tron's Radium, because when you pass the threshold of liquidity or like the market cap threshold, they get sent out of pump fund. So they had a few coins that did that. But man, usually this is where it's gonna get really interesting here, chat. Usually Tron outperforms when the market's not doing that great. Like look at the uptrend on Tron. It started like way down here. Look at this. Like for example, last year, May through August here, BTC was not doing anything while Tron was doing higher highs and higher lows. It was uptrending. So now BTC is not doing much. What is doing Tron? Uptrending, fresh highs. Fresh 2-year highs from Tron today. So this is where it's gonna get funky, chat. Look at this. I think it's Tron. So we're gonna chart Tron against Sol, because Sol has been the clear market leader for the past 6 months. Oh my bad. So it's what's the ticker of Tron? Is it TRN? I think TRX. So TRX, USDT, Sol, USDT. Now we go. Bear with me. New keyboard. All right. Look at this, chat. This is Tron against Sol. Highest daily candle close on Tron against Sol since February 28th of this year. Okay? What's more concerning about this? You have an accumulation pattern here confirmed today. Chat, look at this. I just talked 15 minutes about this pattern, so I hope that you remember just a thing. I'm gonna do a quiz. Oh, thanks, Seth. I'm gonna do a pop quiz on the beginning, on the end of the stream, about three rising valleys here. This is a classic accumulation pattern where you have consecutive higher lows and a higher high regarding the first high here. Breakout line. Where is the breakout line here? On the high of the second high. Boom. Confirmed today with a daily candle close. This pattern, it's confirmed. An accumulation pattern has been confirmed on Tron against Solana today. Will it perform? I don't know. But if you're a pattern trader, like for example, let's say you're a boomer trader and you only trade patterns and you only trade them when they get confirmed. Like I usually, if I'm gonna trade a three rising valleys, I'm not gonna trade on confirmation. I would much rather go long on the third valley, set on a stop loss below the third low, and try to grab it from below here. But the books, the technical books actually say if you wanted to trade a three rising valleys pattern, this is where you go long, like after the breakout. Because now you have bigger chances of this playing out rather when you're down here, because this could turn into anything, Like you're on the third valley, this could turn into mambo jumbo and they just roll it over because you're in a downtrend. This is a macro reversal pattern. So let's do some speculating here. Okay, will this pattern play out, or will it slowly come back down, get a throwback, and do what we're hoping to see on USDT dominance? Because USDT dominance is right here. It's like here now. Like you had the confirmation, it had the breakout, confirmation of the pattern, couldn't sustain price above it, came back down, throwback, building somewhat of a lower high, and hopefully roll over. Okay, like mean reversion to a failed performance of a pattern. But this could continue to go up, chat. Maybe you get somewhat of a pullback, like a slight pullback, and continue higher, and another higher low. And this would be a good area for going long here on Tron against Solana. You can set your stop loss like below here or anywhere below the throwback. I mean the neckline here, the breakout line for the accumulation pattern, and then go long. So it's really interesting what they're doing here, and we're gonna measure the target move. Like, what does the target? What's the technical target for this accumulation pattern? So you go from the breakout line into the deepest zone of the first valley. So you go from here to here. It gives you a 40%. It's rounding it up. A 40% target from the breakout line. So if this pattern actually performs, if you were going long on Tron against Solana, you will be looking on a 40% gain from here. So right around, look at this, you have confluence here with this this shoulder here. So you're basically looking at this target around here on Tron. So, will it play out? I don't know. But research on patterns and people that are way smarter than me have found that you have better odds of this asset here going here rather than down here. That's all I'm saying. This confirmed pattern tells you have greater odds of price coming here than here, if actually it performs to the full extent. And of course this can overshoot, like the measure move target, it's not like it's gonna be complied with 100%. It can get overshot, you could go here to this next inflection point, even here, who knows, on Tron against Solana. But what does it mean for the bull market? I don't know. Not a fan on looking so weakness against um, an S coin like Tron, in my opinion. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it could. Maybe it's neutral. You know. Maybe price rallies on Tron. It rallies on Solana too, but Tron outperforms Solana for the next few months, and that's alright. Or maybe we get somewhat of a crab market, and within that crab market, Tron just outperforms Sol and whatnot. But you do have here this setup, man. After a massive downtrend, and this is the last thing that I'll do on Tron against Sol, but I don't even know if this makes sense. But Fibonacci retracement, the 23% retrace from top to low, it's way past your first target. I mean your target of the accumulation pattern. The second target, not even, I don't even want to entertain this, in all honesty, chat. I'm gonna delete that. Do as if you didn't look at that, okay? So I just saw that on Tron earlier today, and I was like, are they doing that for real? Like, do we have this setup here too? And now you know, like 3 rising valleys, classic accumulation, and the inverted one, it's 3 falling peaks, classic distribution pattern, get confirmed when you get daily candle close below the breakout line here. If you get a throwback, then it underperforms usually. And it's just what you somewhat have on BTC here. But it's been taking so long to perform that maybe it's just, I don't know, failed, you know? 3 falling peaks, breakout line, and couldn't get a daily close below the breakout line. So maybe this is a throwback, and hopefully we will ride happy into the sunset when we get that long-waited bull market, when we get that long-waited altcoin season. Because you know, let's be honest, chat here, altcoins have been taking it on the chin since March, and some coins even from February or even January that they have not been catching any momentum. It's just been Solana and a few other meme coins that have been getting all that froth. Talking about meme coins, I'm gonna pull up Pepe here. Pepe actually managed to close green, so outperformed BTC today. Close up 0.8%, catching follow through out of yesterday's bullish engulfing. So you have a bullish engulfing candle, which catch follow through and somewhat confirmed the validity of this bullish engulfing. Had the highest daily candle close here on Pepe since August 14. Printing positive momentum here. The second bar positive momentum was confirmed today after a full month basically of negative momentum. So the first positive momentum on Pepe for August is being put on, and you're reacting with a higher low at a critical inflection zone. So that's pretty rad. If you were to ask me, you're the 41 point level on the RSI, so you're neutral coming out of the bearish control zone. So that's decent. WIF had quite the day today. Closed like on a 6% gainer, I think. 7.5% gainer actually, with a bullish engulfing candle being confirmed. So you catch follow through out of that bullish engulfing candle, and you have a potential higher low here, chat, regarding the low here from this crash on August 6th. You are downtrending on the daily time frame. I'm not gonna deny that. You know, you're putting lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. When you fail to have that breakout from this 3 rising valleys accumulation pattern here, so you know, chat, when you have failed breakouts, you usually have consequences, and the consequence on WIF failing to break out of the accumulation pattern was basically death here. Almost to the lowest daily candle close ever. Actually, the lowest one was on August 5th, but you've been downtrending ever since that you failed to have a breakout from that accumulation pattern. So I'm not gonna be here shilling with like this is gonna moon or whatever, but I'm telling you there is a higher low on price with consecutive, with bullish engulfing and follow through to that bullish engulfing. And if you wanted to confirm a double bottom here, you would need a daily candle close above a dollar, basically $1.99, $2. If you round it up, you get a daily candle close above the highest price of this structure here, is where you would confirm that double bottom. All right. What else was moving today? Besides Tron, because my God, I didn't have in my bingo card talking about Tron today. I mean today maybe, but not recently. So let's go into some new coins that have been trending before. For example, Kaspa. Let's see what Kaspa's been doing. So Kaspa closed on a bearish engulfing candle today. Down, let's see, down 3.7% on a bearish engulfing. It's looking somewhat similar here to what BTC is doing, right? This whole structure here looks pretty similar to BTC. Look at how the hard line was respected here, chat. Of this ascending channel. Not once, but twice. Still above the daily 200 moving average, so you're fine. Long-term uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. They run this asset on a triple somewhat impulse all the way up into the descending line here, and they just reverse it just at the higher end of this ascending channel. So pretty wild to see the TA be respected like that. You're building negative momentum once again, strong negative momentum once again on the MACD histogram. You don't have to take into consideration this bar here, because this is the fresh daily open candle. But the previous one was a strong negative momentum bar, but this could perfectly turn out to be an oscillated event and continue to lose negative momentum and flip green, hopefully, because you're coming close into a valley here, and potentially you're either you're gonna flip green within this week, or you're still building strong negative momentum once again. So you're somewhat at crossroads here on the MACD on Kaspa, and the RSI is neutral at the 43 level. So it's just you had a bullish engulfing yesterday. You didn't catch any follow through. Would have been nice to have closed the daily green like Pepe did. For example, Pepe had that green day and it closed that engulfing and had a green day today. Not with Kaspa. So a few more marginal buyers on Pepe than Kaspa today. Some other utility coins. Let's see what Ondo's been doing. Okay. So Ondo had this first test to the 200 moving average here. Unfortunately, was a bearish retest. You had the lowest daily candle close since August 7. Bearish hammer also. Somewhat of an ugly structure looking here for Ondo. Not the best. You're losing positive momentum. You do have a bullish divergence here on Ondo that didn't quite perform here. Look at the performance out of this bullish divergence. So not great. 33-point level on the RSI. So you're still in the bearish control zone. That's why you're selling off so aggressively. You were pumping today on Ondo 1 point. Ondo was up plus 7%. So look at the difference here. I think you'll need a few more days to know this for sure. But for example, WIF pump 7% to 10% on a day and was able to close on a 7% gainer. Ondo pump also a 7% on today, but wasn't able to sustain that price action and closed on a bearish hammer. So you can see that at least today, buyers chose memes over utility or over new coins, at least over Ondo and Caspa. And you're losing this this level here, this strong inflection zone at the 77th, the 70 cents level. So I would like to see a reclaim there. Otherwise, man, I have not even entertained this. Otherwise, man, I think your next logical target it's 44 cents. Sadly, I don't see much of a price action here that could. I mean, unless you manufacture a new support, this is pretty much up and down territory. Like this is pretty inefficient, like you can see here. So you want to see buyers recapture 70 cents on Ondo, hopefully soon. What else, chat? Throw me anything that you will like me to check out. So I have I have a whiff. Memes against utility index here, just on Sol. This is entirely on Sol. This is whiff plus bonk plus punky against radium plus Jupiter plus Jito. So this is my Solana meme versus utility. And you can see that I wouldn't think that you would have bounced out of this 34 point area, but they did. And potentially you have a bullish engulfing candle today, confirmed highest daily candle close, confirmed since August 14. And potentially you're looking somewhat of a confirmation low regarding this low here, a slightly higher low at an inflection point. So maybe the utility outperformance is somewhat over. Do we have an harmonic here, chat? Do we have a bearish bat? So I think you do. I'm gonna check real quick if it's really accurate on the measurements, because I want to be sure. So this, yeah, man, this is real. You have a potential bearish bat here on meme coins against utility on Sol. So this is similar to what the RSI and Bitcoin is doing on a weekly, remember? Like you're on the same spot on the RSI on Bitcoin weekly. Like I'm gonna go back real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Pull up the weekly here. This is on the RSI though, but this is what it's being painted on meme coins against utility. It's the same thing. Same exact thing. The thing is, I'll try to be as clear as I can. With harmonic patterns like the one that you're brewing here on BTC and potentially on memes against utility, the thing is that this pattern, you don't position yourself when you see this. You position yourself if and only if you get this price action and you get somewhat of a reversal here, potentially with a confirmation high, is how you trade this kind of harmonic patterns. There isn't much point on drawing this before price hitting the D point, because price could do anything, you know, just or whatever, roll over before. So I just do this kind of harmonics out of speculations, because you do have a slightly chance in your favor of this becoming real, just because you have this, you know, you have an impulse, then 33% retrace, which is within the schematic of the harmonic, and then an 84% retrace from A to B. And this is, you have the 3 points here, you're missing the fourth one. So I'm willing to entertain it, but this is not confirmed here, chat. This is not confirmed yet. It's similar to what I think Pepe against Solana is doing. I talked about this with Tucker yesterday. So yeah, so you have a bearish bat here. I mean, it's a bullish bat from here to the 886. So for example, I saw this harmonic too when price was around here also. Like the same with Bitcoin and the meme coin index. So I didn't know it was gonna come down because the pattern is not confirmed, but it gave me somewhat of an input that there was less market participants on Pepe against Solana than here before. So for example, the price the target of the harmonic has not been hit yet, but it gave me somewhat of a slight edge of what could be happening on this pair. Okay, so your target would be the 88% retracement from X to A here on Fibonacci. I'm just I've been learning about harmonics for this year, so I'm not an expert on harmonics by any means, but I think they're really useful, and not too many people use them. I've just seen a couple of TA guys on the timeline who use them. One of them is Mitch Ray. Shout out to Mitch Ray. I think he's one of the best chartists, the best TA guys on the game. His TA is impeccable. So that's where I learned harmonics from him, and he learned them from Scott Carney, which was the creator out of a lot of harmonics. He was the creator of the bat harmonic, the butterfly, the shark, and whatnot. They have animal names, by the way, if you're keen on looking out for them. So Aave, we also took a look at Aave a couple of days ago. Look the day that Aave had, man. Up, it closed on an 8% gain. You're reaching the overbought area on the RSI. You're slightly above 70. You're at the 71 point level on the RSI. Building the stronger positive momentum on the MACD since May 27 for Aave, and you're breaking out of the 112 area here, this inflection zone that's very real here from 2022. So your next logical target, it's $140 and then $170. So are they gonna keep running this asset higher? Who knows, chat? They might, because we spent consolidating on this range on Aave for 300 days, chat. So almost a year full of shenanigans and consolidation before this impulse higher. Yeah, just a great performer. So I've been going on for about an hour. I really appreciate you, Seb, and Benz interacting with the chat and being present today. If you can please give me a thumbs up on the video on your way out, I would really appreciate it. I'll be going live tomorrow also, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I really appreciate you guys taking your time to look at charts with me. It's been great. I hope to see better price action tomorrow. So yeah, thanks, and I hope that you have a great night and a great day, Benz. I'll see you guys tomorrow.